The reason that my counterpart at Rio and I were in the Oval Office meeting with the President and Secretary Burgum was really to express our continuing commitment to developing the Resolution copper mine here in the U.S., which is one of the largest and best undeveloped copper deposits in the U.S. And of course, copper is a critically important commodity for all walks of life. Both the President and the Secretary have been so incredibly supportive of mining and getting mining back up and going here in the U.S. And it was important that they understand that that commitment is recognized and appreciated by industry.
So a crucial land swap is needed to get the Resolution mine up and running, but this has been blocked by courts in the US. Are you confident it will happen?
So it was disappointing to see that there was an administrative injunction put in place as parties sought to appeal some earlier court decisions. As to how long it takes for that to get resolved, not quite clear on that, but both Rio and ourselves are really ready to go and want to get activity underway on the ground.
It's well documented that Donald Trump has watered down environmental and cultural protections. Have you found an ally in Donald Trump in order to get this project up and running?
So the administration has been supportive of mining, but let's keep in mind here that both companies have very strong internal policies when it comes to both Indigenous peoples' engagement, cultural heritage protection, as well as our practices when it comes to environment. And those are first and foremost the standards that we operate to. In this particular case, this project has been underway and being progressed now for 20 years. And there's been over a decade of consultation that's occurred. The final environmental impact statement was recently approved by the U.S. Forestry Service. It was actually approved previously and then that was rescinded. Further work was undertaken and it was reapproved.
When it comes to US tariffs, I know BHP is not overly exposed directly, but your biggest customer, China, is in the firing line. How worried are you about demand in China falling away?
So demand in China has remained really resilient, and the government there has done such a good job of keeping the economy on track. It grew at greater than 5% during the first half. Expectations widely held that they'll achieve their 5% ambition for the year. And this is one of the things that's helped to underpin remaining healthy pricing for commodities, which has then allowed us to turn in this pretty healthy set of financial numbers, including declaring a 60-cent dividend.
When it comes to your full year results, of course, the bottom line rose, but the underlying profit was the lowest in 5 years. Are we seeing the big commodity booms of recent years end?
One of the features of our industry is cyclicality. And one of the real stories of this result is the fact that we were able to reduce unit costs of production by almost 5% in the face of headline inflation of 3%. And we achieved record production in both our flagship iron ore business in Western Australia, as well as copper across the group, where we've seen growth in production by 28% over the past 3 years. And we achieved 2 million tons of production for the year, starting from a high base where we're already the world's largest copper producer.
You've recently flagged competition is heating up in the iron ore market. What's the outlook for the iron ore price? It's currently sitting at around $100 a ton.
So competition is heating up in that market. Over coming years, China will become less steel intensive in terms of its economic development, and that will mean less by way of iron ore demand. And at the same time, we have more supply coming to market. It's one of the key reasons that we moved so strongly towards ensuring that we were at the low end of the cost curve. As iron ore prices fall, as we see headwinds encountered by some of the other stalwart resources exports that Australia currently benefits from, it's incumbent on us as a country to ensure that we make ourselves competitive globally such that we can spawn new industries and we can open up new investments in other commodities that the world's going to need more of in future.
Do you believe that copper and potash can make up that shortfall from iron ore?
So we certainly love copper and potash. The world's demand for copper is going to grow by 70% or more by 2050. Potash demand is very resilient. As the world's population grows from 8 billion people to 10 billion people, there's more mouths to feed. And the agricultural inputs to feed the world are going to need to be grown ever more sustainably, and that's going to require fertilizers like potash.
The Resolution mine in Arizona is quite key to your copper ambitions. If that fails, will you be looking at acquisitions?
So one of the great things that we've managed to achieve over recent years is the development or the progressing of 4 big copper growth options now. We're not reliant upon any of them individually, but of course, over time, we'd like to be able to progress all 4 of those because of how positive we are about long-term copper.
One of the big talking points in Australia is the Economic Reform Roundtable. Are there any lessons Australia could draw from the US given your current visit?
So I wouldn't isolate it to the US. I would say that in the US, there's been particularly strong focus on urgently attracting more investment, including into manufacturing and basic industries like mining in the US. We're seeing similar moves underway in Argentina, for example. It's one of the reasons we recently invested $2 billion there. Very aggressive approaches to deregulation and attracting global capital. More recently, with the appointment of a new prime minister in Canada, a much more front-footed, active approach to getting large capital projects up in Canada as well. And we really do need to get a march on and shift things in a direction that ensures that we're able to compete more effectively globally.
Mike Henry, thank you so much.
Thank you.